Hi, I'm David Adair Parker. I'm a freelance photojournalist. Thanks for all the great questions. Thanks to all those at my Nikon Life for dropping by. It's been an absolute pleasure. Leisure time. I don't get a lot of leisure time, so I don't often get a chance to take pictures on my own time. Most of the time I'm working or I'm on a project, or most of the work I do is documentary photojournalism, so that's my passion, my way of life. So most of my work, my photographic work, is driven towards that. When I do get time off, if I carry a camera, it's usually to photograph my son. You know, the little things that he does, the changes in his life. But you know, if I'm not working, then I tend to be relaxing and finding something else, playing the guitar. As much as I love photography, most of my work is driven towards my work. The camera's not on my neck. I'm chilling. It's not easy pointing a camera at people. I've always been a little shy of that myself. Usually I work pretty closely, with wide lenses, 28, the longest is usually 50. So there's no mistaking what I'm doing. I'm not pretending to be something I'm not. And I go in with the attitude that me taking a photograph of them is not going to be the worst thing that happens to them in their lives. And I think most people have an understanding. If somebody doesn't want me to take their photograph, unless they're doing something bad, I won't take the picture. I'm not there to ruin their day. And I'm close enough that if I can sense if, I'm disturbing them. And if that's the case, then I'll back off. But I very rarely ask permission first. After I've taken the picture, if the situation needs it, I'll try to explain what it is I'm about. I've been invited into some extraordinary situations where people have been mourning family members, and that's because they understand the fact that I'm there to, perhaps give them a voice to tell their story. So I think it's about your attitude towards them. I wouldn't consider myself a street photographer. I'm not turning them to objects. It's usually because I think that, my telling their story is something I think needs to be revealed or is important. And I think, somehow working closely with people, there's a mutual understanding and almost a collaboration. I don't carry a camera with me all the time, and I should. I used to. I think as I got older, maybe it started to feel more like a job. But recently I've sort of been inspired, probably because of the new equipment that's available to me, that I can pretty much take a camera that, the new D4, I can go anywhere with the thing. I can shoot in the dark. So it's inspiring me to rethink that. I am a photographer. So you might as well practice it 24/7. I guess I've been a photojournalist for over 28 years, so there have been a few times when I've come under fire or been put at risk. Over the years I've been shot at, I've had film confiscated at gunpoint, been detained, I've had a machete thrown through a glass door where I've just walked through, I've had a loaded gun thrown through the back window of my car. Recently, I came under fire and a few RPG rounds came in that injured a colleague quite seriously, but as yet I've had no real personal injuries, touch wood. So far so good. But it is part of the risk. It's not something you expect when you go out in the field, but it's something you should have some sort of preparation for. You should have good knowledge in first aid at least. Understand applying a pressure bandage can save yours or somebody else's life, so you should be well equipped if you're going to take on these kind of assignments or jobs. I guess the real skill in this is being able to work under pressure and not take it personally. I think to be a photojournalist, you have to be a human being first. And at times there are stories you're covering where it's hard to be bipartisan, where you find yourself taking sides. What you're trying to do is reveal what's happening in front of you. You get close to something, you record what's happening, and you put that in front of people so that they're better informed as to what's going on. In other words, I'm not trying to influence an event, I'm just trying to bring people to it. I still believe what we're trying to do is to reveal the truth, and not colour it up. Try to stick to the facts. So that's about as bipartisan I think that I can be. Look, to me they're memories rather than just photographs. I mean, they're all part of my life. So I guess people tend to bring up the work I did in 1999 in East Timor as being something that is best associated with the work that I've done. One image in particular, Marcel and his family is a man holding his child outside the burnt remains of his home. We'd been there not long after the place had been burnt, either by rampaging militia or rogue elements, Indonesian military. So that was still there. So it was a volatile and dangerous place to be in. And recently, last year, I went back and found the family after a decade of looking for them. They were happy to see me because they assumed that I'd been killed during the violence, which was sort of interesting. So I did a video interview with them, gave them a copy of the picture, which is now proudly displayed in their humble home. So that's memorable for me because it's part of an ongoing relationship with them, which you don't always get. One was a National Geographic quote, I think, and I can't remember who said it. It was like F8 and be there. The other one was by my ultimate hero, Robert Capa, as a kid. The whole Magnum tradition. If your picture's not good enough, you're not close enough. So they're two things that are always on my mind when I'm working. In fact, the two most important things. I want my image to be sharp, so I like depth of field. I like things to be sharp. And you can't take a great photograph from a hotel room at the back of a car. You've got to be in the moment and close, which is sometimes risky, but it's important. I want people to feel like they're there with me when I'm taking a picture, when I'm delivering a picture. I need something interesting to be happening in front of me to take a great picture, I'll admit to that. And that's half the battle, is getting there and then having the tools to do the job. Thanks again to all those at My Nikon Life. This is David Air Parker, and it's been interesting. Great questions, and I have enjoyed it. Not easy to talk about yourself, but it has been fun.